Christmas time always brings a smile to my face. Hello everyone, and welcome to Rob's Rogues. And today we're taking a look at the Batman Arkham Origins Joker figure from Series 1. And this will complete my Series 1. So far, as you can see, my ceiling fan is kind of making the Joker rock a little bit there. Either that or he's very anxious to get out of his packaging. So the packaging is exactly the same, just like Black Mask and Batman. It's designed to look like whatever it looks like. Some people say it's his Batman's grappling claw or part of his gauntlet, maybe a fist. Maybe this is part of his gauntlet, a fist. Who knows what it is. It's something that looks familiar, but we're not exactly sure what it is. Again, this is something I got from my in-laws with my gift card they got me to alteregocomics.com, a very cool website to go to if you don't live around the Lima area where I am. It's about 40 minutes away from me. You can shop online if you can't drive there and pick up your action figures and comics and collectibles and whatever. There's a plug for Alter Ego Comics. Mark, thanks a lot. So the back is exactly the same. There's no need spending any more time on the packaging, and I'm imagining, depending on what Series 2 or 3, 12, 9 look like, I may not even do the packaging anymore. I may just put up a slide of like, okay, here's the packaging, and we'll go on to it. We'll get right into the figure being out of packaging. So let's do that. Let's get the Joker out of the package. All right, we have the Joker out of packaging, and I guess what I assumed was purple, and the video game is kind of a purplish teal in person. I think in the video game it is more purple, but the color palette they chose and the figure paint is actually more of a teal color, which I mean is fine. I guess if this is the Joker's first appearance in Gotham City, maybe he hasn't gotten into his purple garb yet. I like the figure. Probably out of the set so far, he might be my least favorite, but one I was really excited about. Other than Batman, probably the most excited. Okay, Black Mask as well. But it's not that I'm let down by the figure. Again, articulation choices. We're right at the cusp of DC Collectibles really making a very strong effort to really articulate their figures, and some they're doing very well. Some they are missing the mark, and some you get a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new, and scratching your head. The Joker is a little bit of a head scratcher. I like him. I'm glad to have an actual Arkham Joker figure. This was the one I was really kind of leaning towards as being my just the single only Joker that I would have on there. Right off the bat, let me back the camera out here a little bit. I would have given him open hands. Why does the Joker need a closed fist? Now, granted, if I'm posing with Batman, I can have them fighting and they're punching each other and all that stuff. Yes, fine, but just a couple of the choices that they made here. The Joker, I would have hoped we could have posed him in some crazy zany pose with his arms wide open and him kind of hunched over a little bit, almost looked like he was laughing, but you're not going to get that from this Joker. Now the coat is I don't know if the camera can pick this up at all. It's more of a blue than anything. His pants, I think, are supposed to be a darker color, but the accent color, I don't know if the camera could pick it up at all, the accent color almost looks teal, and I think it's supposed to be more, it's more in this green color family and a greenish blue more than it is a black or a purple. Again, I'm okay with it. I can get it. It's the first appearance of the Joker in the Arkham universe, so I'm not going to fault them on that. Again, I'm real happy to have him. I would have done things a little different. He does suffer from his head looking down. A little bit of a hair on his nose there. I'll have to shave him. I was hoping his head was going to tilt back a little bit more. If he had a bend or an ab crunch, I could have got him back, so it almost looks like he's looking... See, he's definitely looking down. If I tilt his head more, he can go up a little bit. Again, this is one of those I think with working on it, I think I could get him in more in the up position. So not bad. He'll stay on the shelf and look pretty good, straightforward. I've seen some other people say it, very Heath Ledger-esque in the makeup design around the eyes. It's kind of one of those things that once we saw the Dark Knight Joker, now everybody that's doing a Joker has to give him the black eyes. When he had a little bit of that in Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, not so much. But again, one could argue it's the first time he's coming out as the Joker, so maybe that's what he went with, and his costume, like Batman's, was a gradual evolution. I'm not faulting it, but I kind of think the game designers are like, yeah, this is how we're going to do the Joker. You see, I have a little bit of green on the side of his face from his hair. I do like that his hair is a nice shade of green. Now on camera, at least looking at it through my viewfinder here, it looks darker than it actually is. It's actually more of a muted, brighter green, if that makes sense. In here, my viewfinder, it looks more like a forest green, but it's actually more of a Crayola green in person. So I don't know if that makes any sense at all. It's not matching his jacket at all or anything. Seeing the first few designs or the shots of this figure, and even let me back the camera up a little bit more. I'm all kinds of in close. I thought he had like an open shirt. That this green was like this beige here was his skin tone. It's actually a beige shirt. Even in the video games a couple times, seeing the Joker on screen wearing this outfit, I actually thought, again, that he just has this wide open John Travolta, hey, look at my chest type of a shirt. So a nice soft material on the cloak, like Batman's cape, so it's not going to get in the way of much. So now that we're talking about getting in the way, let's actually get into the articulation. I was talking about the head. He can get some good poses, like, Harley, I was talking to you. So we can look over his shoulders, which I kind of like, like he could be looking down at something, and he can be menacingly looking down at somebody if I put Batman or somebody or a thug on the ground. Getting him to look straight on at somebody, he's still kind of sort of looking down, but you can make it work. His arms, big disappointment here. It's just a simple standard action figure articulation back from the 80s and 90s. This should, just like Black Mask too, with the articulation that went into Batman and the quasi-articulation in the shoulders of Bane, if he would have had the Bane shoulders, I'd have been fine with that. But not to be able to get his arms to go out is a real drag. That's something that I was actually kind of upset about it, that they didn't go that extra mile. They went 500 miles with Batman, and then with the Joker and Black Mask, they only drove about 3 miles. But, okay. He does bend at the elbow, and he swivels at the elbow. Black Mask did not have the swivel at the elbow, so he's got one up on Black Mask as far as the arms go. Hands are closed fists, like I said. I think they should have been open. He can rotate the fist, and he can pivot at the fist, which is kind of neat. So it's also kind of neat if I get him in frame there. No waist articulation at all. His legs go forward, both of them, nothing getting in the way. It's not great far forward, but still. Bends at the knee, and surprisingly rotates just above the boot, or the shoe. I know, a loafer, that's the word I'm looking for. There you go. So a nicely sculpted figure. Again, DC Collectibles isn't shying away from the sculpting of the figure. It's one of those, you either articulate your figures or you don't articulate your figures. Let's drop the camera down a little bit. So it's like the old saying, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. We could have been stuck with the standard DC Collectibles articulation, and we just have arms that spin around, legs that move forward, maybe a bend at the knee, bend at the elbow, and a head turn, and that's it. Which is kind of like what this Joker is. And if we hadn't seen this Batman, I'd have been like, oh, that's great. He can move and get him in some kind of poses. The hands, as I'm rocking on here, I think should have been opened, at least one of them. And with the articulation that DC Collectibles is doing now, there should be no reason that Black Mask and the Joker should be able to have ball and socket shoulders. That's a letdown in this figure for me. Do I recommend getting him? If you don't have a Joker, like I don't have a Joker for DC Collectibles in the Arkham line yet, and I don't want to pay out the nose for the 2 Jokers that are out there, then I think this is a good Joker to have, as he's one that's really cheap right now. So I say yes, grab him, but if you have one of the other ones, nah, maybe not. Now, I do have a Joker. This Joker has been standing in for a DC Collectibles Joker as such time as I would get one. This is the Mattel Joker that came with the, it was in the 2-pack with Robin, and I like that Robin quite a bit. But this has been my Joker that's been standing with my DC Collectibles, and I will probably move him down into the Mattel shelf where he belongs, and this Joker will take over for said place. But as you could tell, even Mattel has shoulders that, oh look, they move in and out. See? Collectibles, you could have done that. You should have done that. I mean, there's no way we're going to get the DC Collectibles arms to do anything that this Joker is doing at all. So, on one hand, I'm like, kudos Mattel for doing that, but poor Mattel for screwing up your marketing and everything like that, because now DC Collectibles is going to take it and run away. So, I'm not going to get into that whole battle, but I do want to see him with a couple other figures up here. Harley and Mr. J by the Christmas tree. So this Mattel Joker I've had standing behind Harley here. So now I'm happy to have Harley and Joker standing side by side. The DC Collectibles Arkham Origins Joker looks really good with the Arkham City Harley Quinn. So depending on which Harley or Joker you have, they're easily interchangeable as the same universe. Just I know different time frame in the timeline of the Arkham games, but as you can tell, these two both look very, very good together. Alright, here is Series 1 finally complete. We have Batman, Black Mask, Bane, and the Joker, all from DC Collectibles. I love the sculpting on these figures. Batman is the clear winner and probably one of my favorite DC Collectibles figures right now. And right a very close tie with the metallic We Can Be Heroes Batman from the Justice League line. That Batman and this Batman are probably the 2 definitive Batmans and almost perfect Batmans that DC Collectibles has made. The articulation, everything that you wanted out of a Mattel figure is now in a DC Collectibles figure, but then it kind of bleeds slowly back through the 3 other figures in this line, and some head scratchers of like, why didn't they articulate this point, and why did we have some articulation and others? DC Collectibles has said that they'll give the figures more articulation if they can hide it in their sculpting. Their big thing is wanting to have nicely sculpted figures. And just looking at the Joker, this particular Joker, you can see all of the cutaway points on the figure. And that's something that always bothered me. Yes, you can get him in some wacky, crazy poses, but I still, at the end of the day, want to be able to pose my figure, and it still almost look real and not so much kid toyish. So I get where, okay, if we can hide it behind a jacket, or we can give him a waist swivel, make the part of the jacket a little bit lower, or hide the swivel in the belt, they'll do that. So I get it, I understand it. I think we want to have our cake and eat it too, but I think this very first series from the Arkham Origins is off to a fantastic start. I can't wait to see what is coming for Series 2s, 3s, however far we go. I'm really hoping we get an Alfred from the series, a Commissioner Gordon. I really want a Commissioner Gordon in the Arkham verse. The Arkham Origins Commissioner is fantastic in the video game. I'm very happy with it. I guess we could bring up Deathstroke here from Mattel, as he's currently standing with the Mattel figure, or standing with the DC Collectibles figures until his Collectibles version comes out. As you can tell, he's a little short here. He should be a lot taller. But as far as the Arkham Origins figures that have been released, granted the Mattel Batman I'm not going to pick up. So we'll move Deathstroke out of the way here. But again, I think there's some real good potential of some other figures. Maybe we could get a Barbara Gordon. I would like to see Robin, Dick Grayson Robin from the multiplayer. We can have Batman and Robin from Arkham Origins. He is still in continuity. They have done a design for him. He's in the Arkham game, only in the multiplayer. But that design for Robin is really pretty cool. So I would hope in some line, in some series, we will get some. And some figures are getting made for the very first time. Anarchy is getting his very first ever action figure. That's going to be really, really cool. So that's going to wrap it up. I think I have one more review that I'm going to do before the end of the year. So today we've been taking a look at the Joker from the DC Collectibles Batman Arkham Origins figures, and then this wraps up Series 1 from DC Collectibles Batman Arkham Origins. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.